Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I just finished watching the first episode of Alone, and I find I have to announce that I am completely underwhelmed with all but one of the fellows highlighted. And the one that I wasn't completely underwhelmed, well, I found I was at least slightly disappointed in. Mitch was the only one that came close to touching on the realm of being an expert of those highlighted. He at least got fired in short order, but even with him, it was the next day. This guy Josh, who tapped out after one night, really? He's a cop? I'm dubious. At best. Pardon me if I seem a little more grumpier than usual, but as I've mentioned to several people in the last 2 weeks, I injured myself pretty severely at work, and I have run out of my pain medication, and I'm waiting on the doctors to get off their duff and call in a refill. Since Friday I'm waiting. Not a good thing. These people are supposed to be professional survival experts. If they were, Josh would have known exactly how to deal with putting up a camp that these bears would not have come right up to his sleeping accommodations. They would not have come within 50 feet had he really been an expert. Let me expand upon that notion. There's a technique I learned from an old Native American whom I knew many, many years ago. And I have since had plenty of opportunity to test this technique, especially the 5 years that I worked as contract security for several mining firms in the state of West Virginia. Not the least of which was Massey Energy. I'm sure you've all heard of Massey Energy. I worked for all of those firms, all the way up Route 3 and all the way out through, doesn't matter where. When you're going to be in the wilderness, in an area you know is inhabited by bears and cougars, you bring along an empty milk jug. And as you're walking into your campsite, you don't just whip it out and let it flicker anywhere. You fill the milk jug. And when you get to your campsite, you go out 10 yards from your camp and you start making a big circle, and every 10 feet you pour out a couple ounces until you make a complete circle around your camp 10 yards out. 10 yards, that's 30 feet. Bear and black bear and cougar have a very good sense of smell. They smell those little deposits every 10 feet or so, and they won't cross that line. They will make a point of going around because the territory you have marked is so small, it does not behoove them to cross the line. They just go around. It's like having an invisible electric fence. Trust me, it works. And had Josh been a true survival expert, he'd have known this. And he'd have had no trouble out of a mama bear and her 2 cubs camped out in a den. I couldn't say, looked like it was more than 100 yards from where he put his tent, tarp tent, whatever you want to call it. See, a mother with cubs would know that smell as trouble and try and avoid it and lead her cubs away from it. So, like I said, I'm underwhelmed thus far. But mind you, they only highlighted a few of the, 10 guys? 9 left? Let's see if the next episode fares any better. This is Emberado of Emberado Smithing and Woodcraft. Peace out.